Hey guys, welcome to ArtosisCasts. Thank you for dropping by. Today we are going to be looking at two very old school players that are extremely strong going at it on an old school map that is in ASL this season. In the top left, we have Sharp. Sharp for this particular ASL 17 that is about to start as I cast this. Is in the round of 16 as a seed after winning the wild card. And then we have Shine in the bottom left. And of course, Shine, just a ridiculously strong Zerg, I think in tournament settings especially. He will be in the round of 24. Both these guys, I think, are absolutely potential round of 8 players. Above that, I think that's a very good result for them. Although that being said, like, I really like both these players. I think both these players are extremely smart. So who knows what we'll end up seeing out of them. Now, the map is Troy, and I did want to cast a few games on this map because it's absolutely insane. You know, you've seen this type of thing before. Anything fits through here. If you kill one of the geysers, then you only have small units fit through. So basically, the biggest unit that will fit through after you kill this is the Hydralisk. A Lurker won't fit, a Vulture won't fit, a Goliath won't fit, a Siege Tank won't fit. If you kill both, nothing fits. Well, Ghosts can technically walk through, but Ghosts are not used in any matchup. They suck. So, yeah, basically these geysers really dictate the flow of this game. You can see that there are some at expansions as well. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock all have expansions with the double geyser, and of course it's a 4-player map with the double geyser everywhere. So this map has to be played in a completely weird way, okay? It's also very small and very short. Look at how close this natural is to this natural, or this natural is to this natural. You can rush extremely fast here. You know, it can be a bit of a risk to not, in fact, rush, because if your opponent rushes and gets one of your assimilators dead, well, you're probably going to lose the game, honestly. Okay? It's extremely hard to win from there. Yeah, I don't know why this map is being used again. This map was pretty popular back in like 2006, 2007, somewhere in that era. It was invented and used in pro leagues and whatnot, but it hasn't really been used since. And then here we are, we have it back again. It's always fun to have some crazy maps in ASL. Definitely this is a map that will reward strategic planning more than other maps, or maybe even just luck, right? Like, for instance, if your opponent rushes, right, and does like a powerful rush, they might be able to kill one of your geysers. Now, if you play defensive against a powerful rush and they rush, then obviously you're going to have an advantage. If you play it like defensively against a rush, but they play greedily, then they will have the advantage, right? So there's this big loop. So it's like, okay, well, what do you actually want to do here? Do you want to attack very quickly? Do you want to play a very defensive game? Do you want to play greedy, like kind of against the grain of the map because you think your opponent's just going to play kind of safe? Well, it's all hard to say, and at the end of the day, it's the decision of the player. Now, taking a look at this, Shine right now is going for 2-hatch Hydralisk, which is hilarious, something you never see. We have a Vulture coming out for Sharp, who actually walled in and is going to Starport Wraith. Not surprised to see this 2 Starport Wraith, honestly. Now, here's the thing. The 2 Starport Wraith will give you a realistic chance on winning this game on one base, regardless of what happens, when you're at a level like Sharp, okay? Now, killing the assimilators, you'd have to kill both to gain the advantage against Zerg, because basically all their units fit through. Like, you don't have to have Lurkers going back and forth, and eventually you get Nidus Worms. So honestly, killing these assimilators is least powerful against Zerg and maybe hardest to do against Zerg. Yeah, so just something to throw out there. Now, we have a lot of Speedlings coming out, and they actually killed off that Vulture. Sharp pulls back. Now, this assimilator is probably going to die. I would be very surprised if it does not. The Wraiths come out and see what's going on, and Sharp has decided there's no real way to counteract this. And in fact, he can kill both of them easily. Oh, as the Vulture comes out, looks like he will back off. Doesn't want to lose Lings Honestly, he probably should have gone for this one first when there was only 2 Marines. He probably would have lost 3 or 4. Oh, he brings out a Hydra. That's smart. In the meantime, we have a couple of Wraiths coming up, and they are trying to pick off Overlords. Oh, my God. He lost a Wraith already. That's incredibly painful. I would not say it's worth it to kill that Overlord, but he does cause a pretty big supply block. So that's something at least. But that is a very expensive unit that goes down there for Sharp. And, of course, you want to build up the numbers of Wraiths very quickly. Now, here comes a little attack in. This attack is doing terribly. Sharp holds that off perfectly. Don't forget, these units all can fit through. Wait, actually, no. I think the Vulture actually cannot fit through. I'm sorry. Yeah. If I'm remembering this correctly, Vultures do not fit through there with this. I don't know why my brain is like stalling out on that because I played recently. But yeah. Anyways, this second one will be picked off with those Hydralisks. So now nothing fits through here. This is now an island. Sharp's base is an island. So there's a lot of problems with playing from an island against someone who's not on an island, such as they have complete map control. They can run around, expand wherever they want, and you have to ferry everything out of your base. This, I can't imagine Sharp winning this game. Like, his Wraiths basically have to win it for him. I don't know what else he could possibly do. Like, you can't play a prolonged game like this, I don't think. Pretty impossible, I would say. If he did, what would it look like? Well, he'd make a command center and float it to here because this is an actual island that's next to you. I think that the reason, and you can see it better here on Shine's base. See, this is Shine's main, and here's that little pocket island. So, like, you could try to go into an island-based game, but, like, how do you produce a ground army and get it out there? Do you ferry stuff over here and use this as your building area? I don't know. All of this seems really, like, terrible decisions that Sharp has to make. Now, some spores going up for Shine. This, I think people are going to love to see. You know, the Wraith defense that we've talked about in the past. We have, like, I try to cast, well, I actually don't know before I look at the games, before I cast the games, what's in the games. But people love it, basically, when there's Wraith builds against Zerg, right? Just Wraith builds in general. Very, very popular. Now, a lot of people ask, like, why don't you make spores? Well, this is a funny situation. The reason why spores are up here and the reason why spores are good here is because now Sharp is on an island. Now, if you're spending all this money on spores, Sharp probably, if he was not walled into an island, he probably wouldn't have made this command center. Instead, he probably would have gone 2 or 3 barracks Marine medic. And then look at the economy. Then look at what you're looking at here. Since Shine is sure that he's only playing against Wraiths, suddenly the spores make a lot of sense in this situation. So we have the command center floating down. Expansion will be taken. Will he actually make a dropship? I feel like he has to, right? He's getting +1. Yeah, he's going to have to go multiple dropships now because you see, like, there's actually units that are going to be made. 3rd command center. Interesting stuff. Like, this is kind of wild. And in fact, Shine is getting drops. Dude, this is very, very weird right now. So I think from here, very likely what you'll do is get a dropship, ferry out some tanks, and you're going to want to build your barracks out here. There's just no sense in having them in the main base. So I think that that's what we're going to see from Sharp. Sharp, in the meantime, closing off a close-by gas expansion. There is a gas here. So this might be where he thinks Shine wants to take another base. Now, we can tell that Shine is getting the drop upgrade to go with his Speed Overlord. So he can easily come out here and drop a drone and take his own island, which, of course, will be hard for Sharp to really kill off. More Wraiths on the way. This is really wild. No dropship whatsoever. Look at the SCV saturation. I think he should make a dropship here. Like, with a dropship, you will saturate this very quickly. You'll saturate this very quickly. Everything feels slightly weird because this is like, look at that. We have only 5 SCVs here right now. A ton up here. I don't think it's worth the extra Wraith. I feel like you really need to get that dropship out. Now, all that being said, can he be attacked? Well, no frontal ground attack can kill Sharp, that's for sure, because you can't get in there. So, you know, he's got some good defense, but you can't defend this right now. He can make siege tanks in line here, but that won't protect to the front of the command center. So you are eventually going to have to get dropships. There is a dropship on the way now. 2 are set up. Oh, wow. The Hydras just walk up trying to get that kill. They will, in fact, snipe the siege tank, but some punishment here from Sharp. Sharp goes ahead, kills off the Overlord, chasing down the Hydras now as well. The Wraith's doing a fantastic job picking off these Hydras, gaining tons and tons of value here. You can see a much higher supply right now for Sharp. That drop upgrade not really being utilized. We're getting a Carapace grade here for Shine, who's also going into Hive. Not even sure what the Hive upgrade is truly going to be for here. Like, maybe Plague? Ultras? Drop Ultras? Because there are Carapace upgrades coming, and your upgrades as Terran should be very slow, I would think. That's kind of my best guesses right now, but this is a game unlike any that I may have ever seen. I don't even like it's hard to describe, right? You never ever see a game like this. By the way, you can see how off Sharp is. 2 science facilities. Obviously, you don't need to go for double upgrades. You don't need to go Ghost and BC at the same time. So clearly a mistake. All right, the siege tank is out. He's able to push this back. You know, if these Overlords load up and drop, I don't see really saving this very well. Obviously, the siege tanks can kind of help on the defense. Maybe you drop off some Marines and Medics, bring the Wraiths over, but it would be very messy. And in fact, that looks like it is what Shine is going to end up doing here. Shine, by the way, expanding to his own island. The Wraiths out of position right now. Here comes this drop from Shine. Look at that. 3 Lurkers and 8 Hydras. That is going to be hard to deal with, without a doubt. SCVs being ferried all over the place right now, and here comes that drop. Ooh, this is going to be a messy one. Oh, no. That Overlord dies with like 3 Hydras still in it. So, yeah, only 5 Hydras now as well as the 3 Lurkers. Not nearly as bad as it was, but the SCVs probably will be mostly picked off. Looks like he's going to save them with that dropship. Save 7 of the SCVs. So, honestly, not too bad there. Pretty well done by Sharp. Sharp, in the meantime, sends his Wraiths to another base. There is no Overlord for a moment. Loses the Wraiths that were out of energy, but then an Overlord pops out, and he's dealing with this. Ooh, good multitasking. Pulls back with those Wraiths. So Sharp right now falls back down to 2 bases. Lots of bio production, but it already takes so much APM, so much effort to macro out Marine Medic. And then you have to also pick it all up with dropships and bring it out. So that's kind of wild. And the amount of build time you're utilizing for things like dropships and Wraiths, that science vessel count, going to be very, very low. Shine, in the meantime, going for a Defiler Mound. Plus ranged attack, plus Carapace. It's getting the 3rd Carapace upgrade already here. Kind of insane. Honestly, an Ultralisk Cavern would be great here. The Ultras would be incredibly, incredibly strong. This setup, very annoying, by the way. I would really like to see these tanks go up to the edge and support, and for Sharp to push back and take this base, but it looks like his command center is floating elsewhere. He may be planning to take this base. Like, that click is not fantastic where he's sending it, but I can't imagine where else this command center would truly be going. So a lot of ferrying out. 3 siege tanks, a good amount of Marine Medic, plus 1 upgrades. So definitely out upgraded by the Hydras. Kind of a funny thing. I actually think I mentioned this semi recently, but way back in time, it was considered that against Marine Medics, once Brood War came out, that you needed to get plus 2 Carapace very quickly for Hydralisks to have a chance in the fight, because people used Hydras in the original Brood War to fight Marines. I mean, the original Brood War, the original StarCraft 1, right? So just throwing that out there. It's kind of funny to see that upgrade matchup, plus 2 Carapace Hydras against plus 1 Marines, something you never, ever see only in this insane game. Now, a Hydra coming out, or a Defiler coming out, it has Consume. Gonna go ahead and throw down that Dark Swarm, and, you know, Sharp has to pull back there. Loses a Siege Tank. Unable to do very much against Dark Swarm right now. The vessel count is extremely low due to all the other starport units that have been built this game. One of the crazier games that we're looking at, Shine's supply is starting to really go up there. I just don't think that Sharp can continue to macro out of the barracks and bring out all the units via dropship. Now, he's going to start utilizing dropships offensively, which can be great, but he's going to start losing some dropships, which is going to make it harder and harder to get units out. Now, that being said, he has a few Firebats in here. If he could get the Firebats under, it looks like the Lurkers are going to get back in time. I was going to say maybe he could, like, kill some the Assimilators, but then you'd have to kill the Niduses as well. Really, it doesn't deal as much damage on this map to Zerg if you kill those Assimilators off. Now, the Marines of Sharp trying to break this other base. 2 Lurkers almost shutting it down. 2 Marines left over here, killing all the Lurkers. Like 4 medics per Marine. Now, with the Lings popping out, you know, not much that you can do. The medics are not going to be able to out-heal that very well. You can kind of do a run around or surround this guy with medics completely, but not going to be something Sharp wants to try to spend time on right now, as more units are on the way defensively as well. These medics being somewhat caught. More Marines coming out. Trying to meet up with these medics, maybe save them. Do we have the dropships still? Okay, 3 dropships remain. Right now, Sharp trying to get his vessel count up, but can only unload, you know, a few units per round, right? So let's see here. There's 6, so every 13 seconds or so, he has 6 units. 8 per dropship, 3 dropships, 24. So that's 4 rounds. So 4 times 13 would be what? 4. Wow, that's what I get messed up on, is 4 times 13. So 52 seconds. Every 52 seconds, he has to do these dropships. Okay, that's insane. Those are insane actions that you have to set up. Every 52 seconds, he should have a full round coming out of here to go into those dropships. Maybe I did the math wrong. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's... Oh, wait, no, I did 13. It's 15 seconds for a Marine to be made. Sorry about that. 13 seconds for an SCV. So yeah, I did do the math wrong. I caught myself before you caught me. So erase your comment right now, smartass. Anyways, still, it's like every minute he needs to unload, which is a lot of more actions. Now, up comes this little Plague and Darkstorm push. There's no Firebats mixed in here, unfortunately for Sharp. Right now, he has taken another base over there. It really feels like Shine is in control of this game. Like, how do you continually keep this up? Sharp is... He is, like, doing a reasonable job. He's definitely mixed it up a little bit, done some drops, macroing reasonably well considering the weird opening of the game. Decent amount of science vessels, but Marine Medic doesn't do very well against Hydra Lurker Defiler. Like, this is a very good counter to that. Picks off a couple of those science vessels. Very, very painful indeed. A lot of SCVs coming over here to this base. Unfortunately for Sharp, a Lurker awaiting. Ling's coming up for the attack as well. No fighting units here. So Sharp right now, he's being attacked up here, losing a lot. Trying to just clear it with SCVs and medics, which is kind of funny. But tries to go for a counterattack. Gets over here, realizes, uh-oh, can't really get a counterattack off there. Too many defilers. Then turns around to clean this up. Well, he does need to clean this up, but you can see, like, Sharp right now feels a lot of pressure to get damage done. It just doesn't seem like he can. Right? This base is never going to be touched. This base is never going to be touched. Looks invincible. Looks pretty invincible. This base is hidden way in the back. His dropship's already taxed, bringing units in and out. What else can you say? Right? It's a very, very tough situation here. I feel like Sharp has dealt with it more, like, better than I ever thought that a Terran would after losing those geysers early on. Like, that is almost always a game lost for Terran on this map. But, like, Sharp continuing to fight. He's got some Firebats mixed in. Unfortunately, getting plagued. And I think this game is coming to a close, really. Like, Sharp just doesn't have anything left. He keeps losing all of his Bioforce down. Normally, what you see in these situations is just continual bio coming out and reinforcing. But what we see is, like, Sharp is fighting and then unloading after he loses his army, the new army. You just can't do this many actions. It's absurd. There are some Firebats in this group at least, so he will be able to push back the Hydras of Shine. But Shine getting so many more units up. You can look at the supply over here. Very, very close. Equal as far as workers go. Didn't get to get this expansion up, unfortunately. And that's going to be it. Shine going to be able to take down Sharp in a wild game on Troy. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.